What's going on, guys? I appreciate those of you that were hanging out waiting on the stream to start. For those of you stopping by watching the replay, though, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. So when we do these, you can take part in live chat right along with us. First things first, Cherry Cola from Paris Corner. Finally wearing it. Finally getting around to wearing it. Wife's a big fan. She said it smells very powdery on me. Compared to Tonka Cola, it's kind of wet and wet with the powder, though. I do find it's a little spicier at the top. Versus, I'm going to do a full review. I'm working on one right now. That's one of the reasons I'm wearing it. I have it on my forums. Did a little quick shorts video on it, probably in the next few days. Spend a little bit more time with it. I'll do a full review. But so far, so good. This is good stuff. This is a good one, I have to say, because Tonka Cola is one of my favorite Mancera fragrances. So hold that in really high regard. So it's got to be a really good clone to get any kind of praise from me. When the real deal is not all that expensive at this point from discounters, but they're doing a good job with it, I have to say. So let's see who's got what going. Make sure to hit that like button on the way in, guys. Don't forget, but let's see who's wearing what. I think I got the saturation a little too high on the color. There we go. Turn the color down. My face was extra like red. Saturation was a little high. Jared, what's going on? Looking forward to this. Cinda Day's Dreamer, red tobacco similar to Amber Oud Tobacco Edition. I don't know, maybe. I've never tried it. I actually have no idea. Sean Hennessy, Althair smells like Club Black to him. Excited to hear about red tobacco, though. Not sure how much more intense it needs to be. That was my stance from the start when it got announced. Like, how much more intense can you make that? I mean, it's one of the strongest fragrances in the market. Horchata de Vanille. Heading to the Phillies game soon, so I'll probably wear red tobacco or Triumph of Bacchus. Well, there you go. My prediction, both are 7 range. That's a real possibility, Paul. I don't know. I haven't opened them. Still in the bubble wrap. For those of you that are curious, I picked these up. I just bought 1 ml of each from Decant House because 1 ml is plenty to tell me if I'm buying a bottle or not. I don't need any more than that. Icon de Parfum Baseline. Banana Republic Tobacco and Tonka Bean. Great scent. Sauvage Parfum, in my opinion, the best one. That's at least my personal favorite. Elixir comes in second place in the Sauvage line for me because I think Parfum's the best one. Vertus Vanilla Oud for Gary. You, sir, are the one to beat. Body Oud Honor and Glory for Kevin. Excellent choice. Wearing Loban Widian today. I've never heard of that, I don't think. It doesn't ring a bell. Chat smelling good. So far, so good for sure. Beau Acute from Armand for Paul. Juan Ochoa is wearing Sole de Capri from Montal. That's a super fresh fragrance. Leighton Exclusive for Jacob. You, sir. Smell incredible. Y'all remember, hit that like button. Let them know, Jared. Let them know. 1 million Privé. Fall classic. Sadly discontinued, but a fall classic. It's a good day when Ross goes live. I appreciate that, Dakota. Thank you, man. CK1 Shock. DJ Sense is in the house. Just recorded Attimo First Impressions video. That stuff's a banger. Yeah, I haven't picked it up in the Ferragamo section yet. I'm leaving it right here. I'm planning on wearing it now that I've got this cool front. There's so much stuff that I want to wear. Like I literally had to go to the gym today. I had to throw the heated seats on in the heater for a little bit on the air because it was pretty damn cold this morning. It was like right at 49 degrees when I headed out to the gym. It was pretty crisp and chilly when I got in the car. Dope ass hat, 99 degrees here in Phoenix. Go D-backs. There you go. Yeah, the color's kind of washed out. This Logitech webcam, not near the clarity of the 4K Sony. But for some reason, the reason I had to stop using that, it like zooms in on the picture. And I've tried every which way to fix it. It's been since they did some kind of update with StreamYard, not like 2 months ago. And I just can't use it. I've done everything offline trying to figure out how to fix it. Because even though it degrades the image to a 720p, it's still such a better picture than what this does, especially with the color. Like I'm trying to balance it with Logic Captures, the software that comes with Logitech webcams. And I mean, it's about as good as it's going to get. But when it comes to really bright stuff, it kind of washes the color out a little bit. Pinks and bright yellows and bright blues and stuff. So if you want to see what it really looks like, check out today's hat haul from Sneaker Town on a TLTG Vlogs channel. I did that video last night. It came out today. This is one of the hats. But thank you. Le Male Parfum, excellent choice. Just ordered Intense Red Tobacco yesterday. Hopefully it's decent. Well, I highly doubt. If you like red tobacco, you're going to like Intense Red Tobacco, I would think. Mercedes-Benz Man from Compton, California. Good to see. Kix Griffey. I like the name. Kajal Dahab. Excellent choice. Real Fragrance Reviews in the house. Wearing Love Triumphs Over War by Argos. Excellent choice. Man, I got to tell you, I sprayed... those of you that saw that shorts video I did on Why am I drawing a blank? Fall of Phaeton. That spray survived a shower and was still there this morning. It's gone now, but super creamy in the dry down, way more than I anticipated. It's crazy smoky and spicy at first, and it's creamy from the start, but it's like creamy is the main accord you're going to get from that one. Rocking Midnight Jasmine from Gallagher. Curious on your preference, Tonka Cola or Amber Dominicano by day 3. So I haven't spent enough time with that one from day 3 to say otherwise, but I do sure love me some Tonka Cola. Good afternoon. Come up with some pork chops and fried zucchini before work. Send the days the original Boss bottle. Hell yeah, that's a great option. Ring the bell, says Bill. Althaïr is very nice. So we'll get to the 10-minute mark and then we'll cut these open and dive into them. Let me know in the comments which ones y'all want me to go after first. Intense Red Tobacco or Parfums de Marley Althaïr. You guys choose. That'll be which one I go with first. So breaking down the note breakdown. I think more neutral Oud Vanille from Mancera. Okay. Arabian Tonka. Smash the like button. Let them know, Adolfo. Let them know. Zero Fragrances Pie and Cognac. Never tried it. Damn, it smells good in the chat. John Parfums Apples and Aces. Supreme L'Homme Extreme, the Fragrance World version. Good to see Devin. Hey Ross, wearing Amouage Bracken Man. CJ, what's going on? Good to see you, my man. Untold with Glorious Oud, a clone of Initio's Oud for Greatness. Sean, good to see you. And wearing Intense Red Tobacco. Had to when I saw the thumbnail. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out in just a little bit. Frank Olivier Amber, Mancera Oud Exclusive. Another miserable football Sunday for Saints fans that it was. Back to football purgatory. Well, look, man. Until we can learn how to draft a quarterback, we're just going to be mediocre. We'll probably have a pretty good defense moving forward. We've had a pretty good defense for years now. Probably have a decent running game, have some weapons that aren't utilized to their full potential because we'll never, well, I won't say never, but not for a long time are we going to have a viable passing threat. And Derek Carr's not bad. He's better than, pretty much every other option that was available to us. It is what it is. I like Carr. He's just not the answer for a Super Bowl run. You know what I mean? Like that's over. That's over for the foreseeable future. It's just ride with your team in the bad years, and it's not necessarily going to be bad years. It's just not going to be championship years. We're going to be, 500, slightly above 500, maybe slightly below 500. That's the range we're going to be for the next, several years probably. We'll always be a decent team, but we're not going to be a great team for quite a while, I would think. All right, let's see. What's up, Dominique? How are you? Hugo Boss Bottled Elixir, which is a 10 out of 10, if I do say so myself. Straight up beast of a 2023 release. It is one of the better releases of the year, I have to say. Boss Bottled Absolute, true to the original DNA, and really pops in the cold air. I haven't tried that one. Yet. Like Devin said, let's get those likes up. We've got 53 with right under 100 viewers. We're getting there. Could be better for sure. Dino's in the house wearing Hez Parfums Bourbon Street. Good to see you, Scott. L'Homme EDP from YSL. Encre Noir, I'm assuming à l'extrême. It's cloudy and chilly here in North Carolina. They're very different. That's the thing. Even though they both kind of feature some tonka bean here and get a little powdery, they can do the same job, though. I'd wear them in the same situations. So if I had to pick one, I'm picking Tonka Cola, but that's just me. Others may pick the Elixir. I would strongly encourage you to sample both, because even though if I had to pick one, I'd probably stick with Tonka Cola. You may like the Elixir, JPG Elixir more, Le Mans Elixir. It's hard to really tell. That's a tough one because they're both just so damn good and they both perform great. So it's not a performance thing either. They're both great fragrances. Declaration d'un Soir, Intense Red Tobacco first. So there's the first vote. Althair first. So don't burn your nostrils before trying it. That makes sense. Let's go with Intense Red Tobacco. Encre Noir Extreme. I appreciate the $1.99 super chat, Anthony, especially since you'd already typed that, man. That was very generous of you. Thank you. Hawass for Jamal. Dan, not the man, best name on YouTube. It was a pretty good weekend. I definitely can't complain. Clean Musk from Authenticity. Arguably the best clean musk, as it's appropriately named, the best clean musk I have out of all of that stuff. It's great. Making Sense Fallen Leaf, Mancera first. So we got 2 votes for Intense Red Tobacco. Svengala, you smell great, sir. Wila Parfum, speaking of smelling great, Jay's got it on lock. 3 votes for red tobacco, intense red tobacco. Darth Fragrance, interesting name. How are you? Day Club de Nuit Sillage. Be grateful you're not a Patriots fan. My sister is. And well, look, I don't feel bad for Patriots fans because y'all had 20 great years. Well, like 18. Great years. Always a contender. The class of the AFC. You know, y'all won 6 Super Bowls and went to 8 of them with Tom Brady. So I don't feel bad for Patriots fans. You had the best run in the history of pro football as a fan base. You know, your team is the greatest sports dynasty of all time, in my opinion, because of the length of greatness that you guys had. So, because I mean, it's not an argument that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. There's no argument there. It's not just rings, it's records. It's the eye test. It's all of it. Anybody that didn't like Tom Brady during the years, because look, I didn't like Brady. You don't like whoever's winning all the time. That's why people don't like the Yankees and didn't like the Red Sox or the Dodgers, all that stuff. The Lakers and the Celtics. When there's too much winning going on, other teams' fan bases turn against the best player on those teams. So that's just how it is. But I've always respected Tom Brady, because how do you not respect Tom Brady and his work ethic and what he meant to the game? So there's no argument on how great that man was. And now you see just how great, because Bill Belichick can't buy a win. He damn near can't buy a touchdown with what's been left the last couple of years. So it was Brady. So shout out to Tom Brady. Not that he'll ever see this, but yeah, you can't feel bad for Patriots fans. They had it good for 2 decades. Okay. And before that, Bledsoe was good. They were solid in the 90s too, you know. Thoughts on electric cherry smoke? I haven't tried any of them. So we're at 12 minutes. We need to jump into that. So the most votes has been intense red tobacco. So I think we'll start with that. Let me scroll down a bit. I see you, Joel. Good to see you. Red tobacco is my signature scent. That's bold. Let's see. Smelled Althaïr yesterday. Cinnamon note isn't as strong as some people say. I get a lot more orange blossom and vanilla, and I like orange blossom. So I'm very curious. And I'm going to spray them on skin too. Still clone vibing this week. Hell yeah. I definitely wear my share. I'm wearing a clone today. Remember a time when it wasn't happy. Yeah. But I mean, it was great for a long time. Oh, yeah. So you had hope for a real good season. Ambassadors ordered. Can't wait to see what it's all about. They're both good. Divine, good to see. What a great time to join. Right as the chat is about to it's about the Patriots. Speaking of Patriots fans, that's been his logo as long as I've known him here on YouTube. So, all right. We are pretty much to the bottom. I still got everyone knows an original red tobacco. I feel like I'm missing out on something. You kind of are. And I have a feeling there's going to be crazy redundancy. So we're going to start with intense red tobacco because it just seems to make sense. It's what, got the votes as far as what I did see. Anna, I see you. Good. Hello. How are you? So, all right. Let's get these bad boys out. So again, I decided to just get 1 ml. There's Althair. We'll put that to the side. So it's just that little bit. That's all I need. Let me adjust the focus for you guys. Intense red tobacco. They put it as red tobacco intense. I just ordered 1 ml from Decant House. So we'll pull up the notes after. I haven't looked at the notes on either because I've looked at Althair. I take that back. I looked at Althair a while back, but I don't really remember it completely. I've heard kind of like apple-less Leighton without the menthol and stuff like that. I don't know. Or menthol-less Leighton, something like that. We'll see. Wow. I wasn't thinking. I probably should have been more mindful of the spray because it's intense red tobacco. So let's see what we're working with here. I can taste it, so it's definitely strong in the top. Smells like more oud heavy, slightly medicinal red tobacco. It's immediately what comes to mind. There is a dry funk oud, an intense leather with red tobacco's DNA. I feel like that's what changed here. And you know what changed in Intense Citra Boisé? They intensified some Cambodian oud and ramped up the leather to a suede note that's much more standout. So I feel like it got similar treatment. Cranked up the oil concentration, added some dark notes. Here, go buy it. That's basically what they did. Which Intense Red Tobacco is phenomenal. It's in today's niche fall list. It's phenomenal. I'm not knocking it. That is a more necessary intensive flanker, whereas I don't know if there's ever going to be justification for an intense red tobacco. Other than just a twist in the DNA, I'm sure it's going to be just as powerful, because how much stronger can it get? It is more of a dry, woody oud funk. It's not the typical oud oil I smell from Mancera. It doesn't smell the same. It doesn't have that sweetness to it. It's a little medicinal and a little dry. And that could be a bunch of contributing factors here. It doesn't come across as sweet in the opening. So that's something to consider. So there are differences. If you're very familiar with red tobacco, you can pick the differences out immediately. I mean, I'm sitting here doing it. It's easy to pick them out. Better? I don't know. As good? Yeah, just as good. Somebody that likes this style, or maybe looks for these notes, a heavier leather, more dry woody notes, you'll like this more. If, like, let's say, because I've seen people in the past say that red tobacco is a little too sweet for them. That's who would enjoy this. It's not near as sweet. Not that red tobacco is super sweet, but when you compare them, yeah, red tobacco is sweeter than the intense for sure. It's a little smoky, like that smoky nuance is starting to come in. It's not overrun with tobacco. I'm sure that earthy tone that I'm getting is the tobacco oil that they used. But it's a much drier fragrance than I anticipated. I do like it. I just don't know if it's that OMG type of thing. It doesn't have the pungence. For being a different oud smell and more animalic overall, really, it's not as pungent. It's almost like that overwhelming, polarizing opening is muted. It's muted in this version. And that's not a bad thing. That's good for a lot of people, because I've said many times when talking about red tobacco, you got to get through that opening. It's a little much for some people. It can overpower and overwhelm you. It's a lot. It's a pungent, overwhelmingly strong opening. This isn't like that. It's still strong. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from power. That's not what's going on here. It's reworked. It's reworked quite a bit. It's getting smokier, much smokier. Yep, that's my final verdict on the opening. Is it's not as in-your-face pungent, so I don't think it'll be as polarizing for people. It's a drier, woody smell, still earthy. I do get a little bit of a leathery smell to it, and the smoke is really creeping in. It's not as spicy or as sweet as red tobacco, but those nuances that are super familiar with the opening to red tobacco are there. They are muted, and these other accords are at the forefront. So what that means is we need to go check out the note breakdown. Intense red tobacco 2023. High rating so far. Spicy. And see, I don't get a ton of spice. It's being contradictory to everything I just said with the spice, because I don't get loads of it. Like I said, it's there. That same opening's there. It's muted, and these new introduced notes are at the forefront. See, the oud's in the top, and saffron. So it's a leathery saffron. So it's not like you see cinnamon and nutmeg, you would think, holy crap, it's just a punch you in the face spice. It's not. This is way spicier in the top. This is dominant cinnamon. Tonka Cola too. I'm talking about Tonka Cola or the clone. So the Tonka Cola is spicier than this. Original red tobacco is spicier than this. It's there. It's just not overwhelming. Oud, pear, saffron, frankincense. So I get all but the pear. Like the pear doesn't jump out, and I do get, so that nutmeg is probably what's drying everything out. That's habitually dry. Like it's always dry. When I come across something dry, woodsy, and a little spicy, it's usually nutmeg. That seems to be an ongoing thing. Leather, patchouli, tobacco, vetiver, and jasmine, guaiac wood, bourbon, vanilla, amber, sandalwood, musk. So your smoky notes are potentially the leather, potentially the oud, potentially the tobacco, potentially the vetiver, incense, and guaiac wood. So that makes sense on why it's so smoky, because there's two distinctively smoky notes, and then there's several that could be intensifying the smokiness. So that's definitely like seeing smoky as the second accord for me, and it could just be my skin chemistry, because you guys have heard me say before, any incense note guaiac wood, smoky nuances in general really pop off of my skin. So it could just be me and my skin. But I would definitely rank smoky as the number one accord here. Leathery, sure. Woody, then oriental, then spicy. Like I agree with the 5 main accords they're showing, but I would jumble the way they're coming across. Because again, it comes down to skin chemistry and olfactive perception here. That's really what it's going to be. I mean, undoubtedly, yeah, it smells very much just like the original. Not as much as Carlisle's so much sweeter than this. I don't get all kinds of oud and leather and stuff like that in Carlisle. So like that's crazy talk that's right here. Closer to the original, sure. I understand why people compare it, even though it's not all that close to me. Yeah, Carlisle's it's in the same vein for sure. But to this, no. Tomfoolery. Rubbish. Pick a word. Pick a word or phrase. No, I disagree. But this is pretty damn good. I don't necessarily think it's better than red tobacco, but it's probably because I've spent so much time with red tobacco over the years. This is really, really good, though. I got to give it to him. The problem is it's named wrong. This is not more intense than the original. It is not. They marketed it wrong. Like it's absolutely can be on the market as a red tobacco flanker. They just named it poorly, in my opinion. If you're going to name it intense, it needed to get the same treatment Cedrat Boisé got. That's clearly much, much more intensive of a smell and performer. It smells like the intense version of Cedrat Boisé. It's as appropriate as it gets for an intense flanker. Whereas here, it's the opposite. The original's more intense than this. It's my take anyways. It's still really good. I wouldn't say rush out and grab this. If you already have red tobacco, wait. Absolutely wait till it gets to at least $100. Don't pay 180, 200, whatever retail is on this one. Nah, I would wait because it'll get to right around $100. I mean, French Riviera is still like 102, but in that range, Mancera's are worth it for $100. Absolutely, it's still bang for your buck value at $100 for these fragrances. But I would wait for that. I'm going to wait for that. I will get this. Point being, let's give it a quick rating. I think it's a great 8 out of 10. This is a great fragrance. I just don't think it's outstanding like the original. I think the original is a better fragrance. It's more impactful than this. Like I went in here totally open-minded, hoping to be blown away, like because that's what happened with Intense Cedrat Boisé. I keep going back to that because they got it right with that one. And I think this is going to be a trend for their most popular fragrances. So I don't know which one they'll do next, but whatever one they make an intense version of next, I hope they do it like they did with Cedrat Boisé, not with this. Because this isn't as intense, but it is more, I think it's more wearable in some ways, even though the animalics are cranked up here, because it's not so pungent, which is weird considering it's more animalic. You would think it'd be more pungent. No, it's quite nice. Like 8.5, you know, I'm 8.25. We'll split the difference. 8.25. Great. It's really good. It is really good. Again, I wouldn't want to pay 180 plus whatever it is, 210, something like that. They used to be 180 at retail. I'm sure it's a little bit more now. Everything's a little bit more than it used to be. If you have red tobacco, hold on to your red tobacco and wait. Or get a decant first. Don't blind buy this. If you love red tobacco, yeah, you're going to love this. If you're going into it thinking you're going to melt the paint off of your wall because it's just so much stronger than an already crazy strong fragrance, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. It's great. 8.25 is what I'm sticking with here. Just, I give red tobaccos an easy 9 out of 10. So let's get caught up on the chat. I'm sure I'm quite a ways back, Anna. Good to see you. It has been a good year. It has been a really good year. I'm with you on that. Only the one at 5:30 p.m. That's tomorrow. Yeah. That's tomorrow. This one was, I set this one up Saturday. Mancera Wild Candy. Okay. So let me get caught up then. To me, it's more oud leather driven. I agree. As much tobacco and spices, far less fruit. We have the exact same outlook, Divine. I did not see his comment, guys. We have the exact same. That's not all the time me and Divine are eye to eye on a niche fragrance. We're eye to eye on this one, my friend. I echo your sentiments. $5 from Sean. My OG red tobacco is well macerated screw cap version, which mine is too. After trying them side by side, I would buy the Intense if I didn't have it, but redundant to me. That's fair. I did address that in my tangent. Smoky, love it. Yeah, that's what I like about it too. It's much smokier. Montrese, good to see you. No, yeah, I definitely wasn't blown away. I'm trying to be much more critical because my first thought when this came to light was why. If it's not excitement and the first thing I think is why, I'm skeptical going into it. So whereas with Intense Cedrat Boisé, I was excited as hell. And they got it right. They delivered. In my opinion, they delivered. Here they changed it up, and in some ways for the better. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't sound like I think it's really good. It is really good. That's 8.25. I think that's a fair rating for this out of 10. It's well above average. It's a great rating. But it's so the first one was so impactful. That's my thing. This didn't leave the same impression. Pretty much perfect the way it is. I'm with you on that, man. Not like that at all, but it's nice. Yeah, I think it's drier, smokier red tobacco. Sounds on point. It's basically what it is. I quite like it. It's reminding me. It feels familiar. I think is the way I'll put this. It feels familiar to me. Like it's similar to something, and I just don't know what yet. It smells like something I've tried before. Oh, more of a dry cigar leaf. Not cigarette tobacco. Definitely not. Need to remember that Parfums Record seemed fairly new and it's poorly structured. That's funny. It'd be redundant to buy Intense Cedrat Boisé and the clone of the original one. No, they're far enough apart. If you're talking about Cedrat Essence and from this line, they're much further apart than the original Cedrat Boisé is to the Intense, because Cedrat Essence from this line is a more fresh citrus than it is fruit. It's not as sharp of a lemon, and it's more of a clean musk than woody in the dry now. So it's got its differences. So I would say it's a little bit further apart. I didn't find the original smelled all that synthetic, honestly. I mean, it's not the most natural smelling fragrance either, but it doesn't strike me as a cheap smell. Let them know, Joel. At least your sample's not leaking. Indeed. Be passing the Intense. I mean, it's worth trying. If you really like the original, it's definitely worth trying. That's similar to that. I got to go with that. But my favorite Oud Rose combination is an expensive one. It's Raja Parfums Amber Oud. That's pretty much perfect. Very ambery, as the name would indicate, but it's so rich, smooth, and luxurious smelling. Such quality. Man, it's phenomenal. That's my favorite Oud Rose. It's no contest. Far less synthetic than the original, but I wouldn't even bother with it since it's more of an oud leather driven and less like a Carlisle profile. We are so in sync with this thought process on the Intense. It's not even funny. Why EDP Intense, but great, but also an appropriate name. Yeah, I have a bottle coming. I finally broke down and bought it. It's in my next fragrance buy haul. Because I had a decant of it, and I thought the same thing. Like, how is this Intense? Like, half the line stronger than this. Like, it's not stronger than the EDP. So, like, it's on the same strength level as, like, Live. Just not as sweet. It's more woody aromatic, you know. It's good. It's just not as good as some of the other ones on the line. Not to me. Carlisle's a must-own. That's fair. Round up to an 8.3. Here you go. We're going to stick to quarter points. It's not often I do quarter points, but once in a while I do. When I can't decide, I'll split the difference. Trying for Bacchus, red tobacco shouldn't be in your repertoire if you got the money to buy either. Yeah, that's fair. So these came from Otter Spirit. This is the money pack. It's citrine, jade, and I forgot what the other one is. And then three of these came from Jimvius, and then the chakras I had got off of eBay. But this is quartz and garnet, and then this is confidence tiger eye, and this is faith and confidence. That's why it's got the flipped around. That's why it's got the cross. It depends on how you look at it, because these metallic scents that have come out, I'm a fan. Revolution, Faces of Francis, love them. Probably my two favorites, because they're just, it's weird that these metallic fragrances are really speaking to me this year. That's two of my favorites. And then Argos's new releases. Holy shit. Holy shit, are they good. All three of them that I have are incredible. I haven't tried Nemean Lion or Triumph of Bacchus Extrait yet, but Fall of Phaeton damn near blew me away yesterday. I've been wearing Birth of Venus at least once a week, and Fall of Phaeton, Love Triumphs Over War, I can't even spray it more than twice. It's so damn strong. It's seductive and masculine, and just beautiful powdery rose with spices. I believe it's clove. That's a statement maker. It's more of a situational fragrance. Birth of Venus is just fresh and fun, But there's some really good ones that have come out so far this year. I don't have a ton of experience. The first two, the regular one and the intense, smell like Invictus. Okay. Boss Bastard by Aaron Terrence Hughes. Let me skip down a little bit because I'm pretty far behind. So we're going to jump into Althair. I did pay full retail on Althair. Craving fall fragrances. They released it at the perfect time and got me. That said, it really is nice, which we're about to jump into that right here in a second. Let me scroll down just a little bit. So I don't want to skip anything important, so I'm slowly skipping through. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I have not. I may have to look into that. Scorpion Intensive, better version of Ombre Nomad to me. Oud is airier and the berries are more present, much more wearable. Peace from the Middle East. Well, I appreciate that, Stevie. Thank you very much. Welcome. Good to have you. So we just went over that. Scroll back about 10 minutes. About 15 minutes. Scroll back about 15 minutes. We just covered intense red tobacco. So we're going to go ahead and get into Althair. Let's give it a shot, see what we're working with here. One good spray. Wave off some of this alcohol before I go to breathing through my nose. That's familiar. That is not what I was expecting that to smell like. That is so familiar. And not Club Black like a lot of people have been saying. Maybe as it dries, but in the opening, no, I don't get that. Is that grape soda again? Did I get a little bit of grape soda? It's like a sharp wood and a spice, but also like some lavender. A lot of lavender. A little bit of Nico Sculpture, wooden spices. That's that orange blossom note. It's got to be the orange blossom note. It makes it smell like them because of the spice, the wood, and the lavender. It makes it smell like them. That's the fragrance I was thinking of. Nico Sculpture and Montal wooden spices. Has anybody else said that? I don't know, because I've been avoiding all content and write-ups and stuff like that. Totally, I can't smell any other thing now. I will say this, the opening's better than those. It is better. It smells deeper. I'm not blown away, though, because I feel like it's super redundant to stuff I've literally been wearing recently. Like I talked about wooden spices in today's video. Sprayed it last night. I wore Nico Sculpture Parfum last week. I wore Nico Sculpture the week before. So like I've been wearing this scent profile. It's very similar to them. Whatever this particular, the way this orange blossom comes off, it's very similar to the ones there because it still has that creaminess, that slight powdery tone. It's spicy and aromatic with a lot of wood. I get a sharp woodiness. It's getting smoother. It's not as sharp. Very much so. Let's look at these notes. Highly rated, a lot of ratings. Sweet. Gourmand, really? Really? Disagree. Creamy, sure. Spicy and woody, yes. Gourmand, though, I don't get that. But orange blossom cinnamon, so there's my orange blossom and my spice. Gaiac wood, really? That's the only woody note? Maybe as it dries, I'll get more of this praline and vanilla, but I don't get it. Like the gourmand thing doesn't, it's not all that sweet and gourmandish right now. As it dries, it'll probably get more of it since the praline's in the base. There's sweetness, but it's not overrun with it. If anything, I get a little bit of vanilla. And it's not really that smoky, so I'm kind of surprised that it's Gaiac wood. Maybe as it dries, I'll get more of the smokiness. This is nice. Super mass appealing. It does smell good. But it very much reminds me, like people are saying this, and I guess now that it's drying a little bit and the vanilla's coming out, now that the vanilla's coming out a little bit, it makes more sense. Mercedes-Benz Club Black, the opening, not so much, but now that it's calming down and settling a bit, it's been a minute. Yeah, it makes more sense. I get it now. I understand where you guys are coming from that have said that. I get it. But the opening, yeah, because it's changing. The opening was very much wooden spices and sculpture. Not as much now. Still there, but the vanilla is making it transition. It's changing because of the vanilla is starting to really introduce itself. It's nice. It's not blowing me away, but it's nice. Do I feel like I have to have it? In this moment, no. In this moment, no. That could change, though. Because I'll run this 1 ml out doing random sprays on my hand over the next days, weeks, whatever. And I'll make an executive decision at some point on do I need to get a bottle. It's becoming much more woodsy and vanilla, which also means it's getting much more generic. So there's that. It is really nice. Is it worth what it's commanding? I don't know. Because it doesn't smell super luxury. Because it's in the, it's a higher price bracket here. It doesn't smell of luxury. Synthetics and everything are pretty clear here. Like that Ambroxan. Musk is probably a little bit of ambergris, maybe. Whatever this Ambroxan musk combo is. Some synthetic ambergris, maybe. Because Parfums and Marley, they like to use their aroma chemicals. And I don't hold that against them because like Percival and Sedley and stuff like that, they're full of aroma chemicals and they're great. They're some of my favorites, but it is getting a little smoky now. So the Gaiac wood's starting to show its head a little bit more. So I'll give it this. It does subtly nuance steadily. It's slowly and steadily nuancing. I do think this is quite redundant, but a lot of Parfums de Marley fragrances are. I'm thinking 7.5 out of 10. What do you guys think? It's very good. It's not as good as Intense Red Tobacco. That's why it's a higher grade here. In this moment, I don't desire a bottle. As it changes and it comes down in price, maybe. But even then, if I was to get it, I don't think it would be anytime soon. It might be a long time before I get a bottle. Because there's other Parfums de Marley fragrances that I know I like that I still haven't gotten bottles of. Like Darley. I love Darley. Still haven't bought it. And I had 8 ml of that. I think it's the ultimate Le Male scent profile is Darley. Just like Percival's the ultimate fierce to me. This might be the ultimate hybrid of Nico's Sculpture meets, slash Montal Wood and Spices meets Mercedes-Benz Club Black. So 7.5 out of 10. Final answer. It's very good. It just doesn't make me want a bottle. Not right now. It's so similar. I don't know if anybody else has said it. Like I said, I get the Club Black relation, but I wonder who else gets the relation I get with Nico's Sculpture and Wood and Spices. Because it very much reminds me of that. So let's get caught up on these comments. A little late, but right here, your thoughts on... Okay, yeah. So, yeah, we just did that, and then Red Tobacco, like I said, he's got to go back about 20 minutes now, 25 minutes. Orange Blossom attacks the nose. That's exactly what happened, yeah. Wearing my sample Althair, I was told I smell like a bakery. Okay. Vanilla must be shining on you. Perfect timing. I can watch some fragrance content while waiting in line to pick my gals up. Well, there you go. Good to see you, James. To me, it smells like caramel mixed with Grand Soir. Okay. Grape soda again. Like a little bit at first. I think it was the alcohol playing a role here. And the cinnamon was really intense in the initial spray. So. Kajira, good to see you. Rocking Pepe Jeans Celebrate. That's a good one. Which one? Parfums de Marley Althair? I think anything. Versatile. Very versatile. It's not as sweet on me as others are getting. I get vanilla, but I don't get a ton of it. And the praline may not come until later. I mean, you got to figure it's only been 15 minutes. It's on 10 minutes. It's on my hand. 10 minutes, maybe. Maybe. I think that's a strong maybe. So there's a long way to go. This is basically just the opening. I'm sure it'll continue to transition, and we're going to be here for a little while longer. So I'll constantly go back to it. I do like Intense Red Tobacco much more. And it's a way more situational fragrance. But everyday office, I would say Althair absolutely can do that. Formal events, that's where Intense Red Tobacco would shine more than Althair because it's so much more animalistic. A lot of leather oud. It's earthy and dry. It's good stuff. They're both good stuff. I just think the original is better than the Intense for Red Tobacco. And Althair reminds me too much of others that I've been wearing recently. My wallet likes your impression. There you go. I should have called it Modern Blend or Signature Series. They could have did something else with the name because I don't think it's all that intense comparatively. And you would think when you see that note breakdown, like, ooh, this is going to be crazy. Not really. Kind of subdued compared to, I mean, it's really strong if you compare it to other fragrances. If you compare it to the original Red Tobacco, it's tame comparatively. Scent of the Day's Carlisle. I haven't wore that in so long. As somebody into niche, you don't say. I get vibes of many feminine vanillas, silky woods from Goldfield and Banks, scents laundry floral, orange blossom, note vanille from Micallef, Safanad from PDM. I haven't tried those, so I'm not familiar. But I'll take your word for it. I'll definitely take your word for it. Watch is telling me to get active because we've been sitting here for almost 45, a little over 45 minutes because I was getting set up. I believe it. I believe we're so early into it. If you click on similar, Nico Sculpture Ohm EDP is in the 13 to 14 in voting. I think it should be higher than that, personally. The opening, I'm sure as it dries down, it gets further and further away. It's already starting to get away from it. But it's still there. I mean, it's still early, though. Yeah, I don't feel like I need it owning Club Black. It does smell good, though. Yeah, it does smell good. It's not a must-buy to me. That's a pass on both of these for me, I think. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, if they interest you, definitely sample. I mean, don't just take my word for how I feel about them, which even if you just look at the ratings alone, it's some good ratings because they are good. I'm looking at it as a perspective of, do I need to buy them? This is where sampling comes in, guys. This is why I strongly encourage sampling with anything niche. Designer is one thing, niche is another, because now we're creeping up in the price bracket quite a bit. And you don't want super redundant if you're looking for something new, or if you're looking to be wowed. You definitely want to sample first. You don't want to just say, oh, here's $250. Let's see what happens. You know, it's a risky game to play with your money. Look, I can see how people would like it. I'm not knocking it. 7.5 out of 10. That's a very good. It's literally on my scale. It's very good because it is a very good fragrance. It's just, it reminds me too much of several fragrances I've been wearing as of late. From the strength isn't to the levels of Sauvage Elixir. No. Yeah, it's not knock your socks off ridiculous, but Sillage is beautiful and captivating. It has the power to definitely reach and grab people all day long. It's just not going to melt the hairs in your nostrils like some of the ones you just mentioned. Haven't seen many reviews on Vanilla Oud. I talk about it all the time. I don't have a specific like individual review video on it though. Not overwhelming. Yeah, it does. It's not overwhelming to me. I don't think it's worth full retail. If I had to do it again, I would have waited. Josh, what's going on? Rawhide by Barrett Fragrances. Good to see you, man. What's the most you paid for a fragrance and which one? I don't think any of my Amouages was my most expensive purchase. I don't really know because it could be any number of fragrances. This is in the $300 range is the most I've ever paid for one bottle. I just don't. I got a bunch of them there in that $200 to $300 range that I bought. A lot of my like crazy expensive Raja Parfums fragrances, they had sent those to me. I didn't buy those, so I can't factor those in because I didn't buy them. Not one specific fragrance comes to mind, but stuff like Carlisle, for example, that was right around $200, but I've paid for stuff higher than that. I paid more than that for Aqua Celestia Forte from MFK. Let's see. Paid right over $200 for Viking. Paid $250 for Silver Mountain Water. Trying to zone in on anything more expensive. I know I'm further from the microphone, but in that range, $250 to $300 range. It's a variety of them. 5.5 out of 10. Damn. But I could see why you would do that, though. I mean, when it comes to guys that are like strictly their luxury fragrances like you are, I could see how you would be even more critical. Whereas I'm going to be a little bit more fair to it. Well, not necessarily fair, but I'll be less critical of it because it's a mass appealing scent. And it's kind of my thing is the mass appealing stuff most of the time. Because I just like those just grab and go kind of fragrances most days. And that's definitely how this falls into. That's what the category I would put it. Ooh, either version's great, Cyrus, the EDT and the EDP. Darley is great. I agree. 6 out of 10 would rather get another PDM. 10 out of 10 for me. It's just my type of scent. I get some sort of metallic feel, but that's just me. All good. All good. Yeah, Percival's. Yeah, for sure. Both of those. Absolutely. And it's crazy to think I feel that way about Darley and I don't own a bottle. It's not like I can't get it. You know, it's not some hard to find, super expensive resale price. But it's good. Super good. Well, I didn't pay for that. They sent that to me. They sent that. Most of my Raja Parfums fragrances, they sent to me. That's why I always tell you guys, well, I usually do the hauls, like packages, because I get excited when I get an email from them. Let's see. Joel, did you want to mention my perfume Conjar? Randy's in the house. What's going on, my man? Althair just isn't for me. Mostly orange blossom and vanilla for me. I barely get any cinnamon. I got the cinnamon right away. Then it turned into orange blossom quick, fast, and in a hurry, which I got the orange blossom from the start too. That's how I immediately related it to Nico's Sculpture, for example, in Wood and Spices. It's a bunch of orange blossom with some spice right away. And I got the strong woody note that I'm surprised was Gaiac wood. The vanilla has definitely taken a stranglehold on this scent profile at this point. I still get the orange blossom, but the vanilla has definitely took the lead here. Intense red tobacco. It's drying down into red tobacco. Don't get me wrong. It's still drier and earthy. It lacks a lot of the sweetness. The sweetness is very muted from the original to the intense. So any of you that see this, whether you're watching live with me right now or watching the replay, if you found the sweetness off-putting in some form or fashion in the original, you should try Intense Red Tobacco because it's faint. It's in the back seat, like the middle seat. That's how insignificant. The middle of the back seat in a sedan. Look at it that way. It's there, but it's not in a prominent role. I guess that's the little seatbelt. A bottle of very unique for my collection. I think it'll do great during fall nights. That's fair. It's looking like I'm not going to. I've been getting asked that a lot lately. Literally this morning, I got asked that. No, it's looking like I'm not going to be able to. I got a pretty busy holiday season with travel as it is, and I got to pick and choose what's more important, and that's the least important of the travel I'm going to be doing between November and who's coming and where I'm going. Because we have people coming here, and then I'm going places too. And we have some traveling to do, and then the holidays with the family. So it's looking like it's going to be a no-go again this year. as far as me going to New York. Yep, tomorrow's going to be fun. Tomorrow's going to be a fun one for sure. I do similar, much less expensive. That's how I feel about it too. I was kind of surprised. Yeah, I thought for sure that would win. I don't have any clones of red tobacco, so I don't know. Like the Wilden tobacco in this line, like Randy would be the one to ask. Randy's a big fan of that one. I haven't tried it. Oh, I couldn't disagree more. But hey, man, if that's what you get, if that's what you get, that's what you get. But oh, I definitely disagree. And by the fireplace. Look, hey, man, if that's what you smell, that's what you smell. I guess I kind of get the spicy woodsy side of it for by the fireplace. I'm guessing you mean a combination and then sweetness of strong with you, but not really to me. But I understand where you're coming from. But I mean, what you smell is what you smell. What I smell is what I smell. Neither of us are wrong or right. It's just what we smell. I've given out one Isola Blue from Roger Parfums. That's the only 10 I've ever given in an individual review. Now, I did a video where I upgraded some. I don't know how many of you remember that video. It was 12, 10 out of 10s. If I were to give a 10, these deserve the upgrade, and I upgraded their ratings. Like, this one, because of how much I enjoyed or whatever, we could bump it. I had gave it this before. For the sake of the topic, we'll go with this would be a 10 if I was doing 10s. So I did do that video one time. I had enough people ask about it. So it was like, well, I don't really do 10s. But if I did, these would be some candidates that deserve an upgrade. My style in a YouTube live chat. I don't know what you're referencing. Let's see. Conjar smells like Vertus Vanilla Oud. Well, I'd definitely like to try it then if that's the case. Just placed my order. Can't wait to get Vanilla Oud. It's phenomenal. It's definitely a hit here in this live chat. It's a hit. I was very impressed so far. Anyone tried any? Josh is wearing one today. Yeah, it's very expensive. Here in the States or in North America in general, I think from discounters, it's like $400 or $500 from discounters. So yeah, it's pricey, and that's from discounters. So yeah, it's super pricey. I probably wouldn't have it if they didn't send it to me. I wouldn't spend that on a fragrance. I just can't. I can't justify $500 on one bottle. I just can't. Gracious and very happy that they were willing to send that to me back, a couple years ago when they sent it to me. But it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I wouldn't have bought it. That's something I would have got a decant of just to experience it. Because some stuff is so good, you at least need to try it just so you have the experience. That's one. That's one that I would recommend. Get an ML like this. It's going to be pricey for 1 ml. But get that 1 ml just so you can try it. If you truly love just the experiences, the olfactive experiences, it's worth trying. It's one of those. Boz, good to see you. Diaghilev's much more expensive. Yeah. Yeah, that's a crazy good fragrance too. I never wear it though. I'm on a sort of hiatus from FragCon. Well, I'm glad you were coming, feeling well enough to come stop by and say hello to us though, Boz. I appreciate you, sir. Uh-oh, that's not what I want to hear. I guess I need to go change hats. Go put some Astros stuff on. Maybe I need to put my Altuve jersey on. Baccarat Rouge 540. Okay. And Musk Ravageur. Let's see. Boz, we need you on another karaoke night with Joey. There you go. Wednesday night, according to Joey, best night of the week. Wednesday night's best night of the week. So there you go. The king of the super chat has arrived and made his presence known. $10 super chat from Volcanus. Wearing Sushi Imperial by Bois 1920. I love the aesthetic of their bottles. I've never tried anything from them. I need to do it. That's a bucket list brand for me. I don't know why I've put it off. I've looked at some of the scent profiles over the years, and I need to take the dive because I know there's a lot of stuff I'd really enjoy in that house. I just haven't spent any time with any of them. But I appreciate the $10, my man. Thank you. Good to see you. Getting a little stuffy now. You hear that? All this between having all these sprays of cherry cola on plus these two strong bad boys. I'm getting stuffed up over here. These aromas are strong. I can still smell, though. I'm not completely stuffed up. There we go. Good afternoon. Sounds good, but I wanted Pegasus for a while, so I bought that instead. Pegasus is super unique. That's super unique. Josh can't sing them because it's late here when that starts. That's true. That's true. Yeah, Boz is on quite a different time zone. How many hours ahead of Central Time are you, Boz? Because I know, like Scotland, they're like 7 hours. How many hours ahead of Central Time are you? Just curious. Because when I went to Scotland at the beginning of the year, I was 7 hours ahead. I'm not familiar with Lafayette Street, so I don't know. It's a real possibility. Have any of your scents improved over time once maceration in the bottle? Yes, several have. So to start that process, you're actually starting down a breaking down process, is what maceration is in that sense. When you start spraying it and you switch out alcohol and oil for oxygen, you really start speeding that breakdown process up. That's what the maceration most people are talking about in the community. It's not the kind of maceration that they do at the labs. The brands do at the labs before they release them. It's not the same. But that's what's going to happen is now you're going to allow that alcohol to start evaporating. Once you atomize that and you pump pressure in there, you're putting more oxygen back into that bottle. Because I get it, before the atomizer is put on, there's oxygen in the bottle. I get that. But the more you start swapping out oxygen for oil and alcohol, the more that stuff's going to break down, and you'll start to lose that top note a little more, and it'll seem like it's getting richer because you're losing a little bit of that top note. But depending on the oil quality, like a prime example would be Triumph Bacchus from Argos. The color changed. The peach and apple got rich. The rum got thick. It's way stronger than it used to be, and it was already super strong. Certain ones, especially when we're talking about these, high level raw materials, these really high quality oils, they age like a fine wine. They absolutely age like a fine wine. So certain ones do get better as a short amount of time passes. Now, 10, 15 years, that's a different story. But in the short term, that's usually true, yeah. Not in all cases, but in some. Spice, I get mostly cardamom. Decants oftentimes lose some of that top note, and that's a fact, which is where I'm maybe losing the cinnamon. Club Black, a big projector. At first, I mean, everything is in the first 30 minutes. But about to an hour and a half, it's a little bit better than arm's reach kind of stuff. It's not some crazy room filler. It'll grab people, though. It comes down to your skin chemistry, though. It might not project off of you after 30 minutes because it's going to project on everybody for 30 minutes. That's why you hear people say stuff doesn't last longer than 30 minutes. Because if it's not screaming, they think it's dead. That's the 30-minute thing that you hear about on the internet. Fusion Dissay Extreme. You've been digging that one lately, huh, boss? Signature pour on today. Hell yeah. I don't think I have one best, honestly. I've had a lot of really, like a majority of my fragrances are blind buys. Not all of them, but I would say the majority, more than 50% have been blind buys. So I can't really pick just one that was the best because I do it all the time. Like I ordered 7 fragrances, and of them, 5 of them are blind. 2 of them I've tried before. I do it all the time. It's a regular thing for me. So unfortunately, I don't have that one specific answer for you because it's happened hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times where I was like, yes, this is an awesome fragrance, and I'd never tried it before. Wild and Tobacco is actually really nice. Relies a bit heavier on the blend of saffron and tobacco, but I love it. I don't think it smells like Pegasus at all. No, that's a milky, creamy, heavy heliotrope type of fragrance, kind of a cold opening, a little metallic, and very lactonic. Yeah, not the same. Definitely not. Is Club Black a must-have? I think for the money, if you can find it for $50, why the hell not? The hype's real on that one. It's justified. It's a great fragrance. Absolutely a great fragrance. Probably the best affordable vanilla, if I'm a betting man. It's good stuff. Not necessarily must have, but if it appeals to you, you'll definitely be happy with it. It's good stuff. Boisé. So it's a bit more woodsy and spicy than the Reserve Privé or the EDP. So it kind of falls in between the two. You still get the iris without the creaminess of the Tolu Balsam from the EDP. and then you get more of the woods and spices from Reserve Privé without the booze. That's why I say it kind of falls in the middle. How are you? Still in my cart, waiting for a restock for Fragrance Buy before pulling it. So they must have sold out the other day because they had it in stock when I did the member poll. There you go. Oh, I don't shave, but that's why I'm always scruffy. I shave like every 4 days because that's a pain in the ass. Like I'm not going to clock in somewhere every day to where I need to stay clean shaved all the time. So I just do it like every 4 days. That's why you'll see me getting scruffy like this. Like I need to shave, which tonight I am shaving. So it comes down to about every 4 days, roughly. I'll do the old shave routine. Have I done it yet this week? No, this is gonna be the first shave of this week. It usually comes down to about 2 almost every week because every 4 days, 7-day week. So sometimes in my rotation, you'll see aftershaves twice. Sometimes you'll see them once. It depends on how the cycle went. Sometimes I'll shave at the 3-day mark. It all depends, but it's usually at the 4-day mark. Fantastic. I've pretty much got everything squared away in here. The only thing I don't have yet for the room is the TLTG reviews sign, the RGB light that's going to go right up here in the middle. That's why I'm starting to turn this more like there's still some hats to do some hat videos on the other channel with. That's why they're lined across the top of the couch. But the couch isn't covered in new hats anymore because I've recently done some of these hat videos. And then some of them I didn't bother doing a video and I just started wearing. But for those who didn't know, I'm doing more hat-related content on the other channel. I still, haven't been buying any shoes lately, so no sneaker content. Probably wouldn't hurt to do a workout vlog. I haven't done one in quite a while. It's been months since the last time I did that. I haven't been playing anything, so there's no gaming videos of late. I haven't been thrifting, so there's no thrifting videos. So it's more of a variety channel on TLTG vlogs. So lately it's been hats because outside of fragrance, that's what I've been occupying funds basically with is it's hat buying season for me. So. But thank you for asking. It's great, but I don't think it's worth the money. That's why I haven't bought it. It's phenomenal. It's better than every clone I've tried of it. The original is way better to me, but it's not worth what it goes for. Mancera Black Gold. I'll be trying that in tomorrow's live stream. That's one of the decants Dedrick sent me. So that would be too opulent for my taste. Gave the sample to a friend. Well, that's fair. Not everybody's going to feel the way I feel about every fragrance. On the hype train from Barrett, about 6 more there. Tom Ford. Okay. Clones Fire. Let's see. 7 or 8. Okay, that makes sense. I figured it was something like that. Yeah, so California's 2 hours back of me. So you're 7 hours ahead of me because I'm central. Because it's where I'm at, I'm in the panhandle of Florida, so it's almost to the Eastern time. The East Coast is Eastern time. So I'm Central time. Then you got Mountain time, which is what I was in Colorado. Then you have the Pacific Coast. You have the West Coast, basically, and that's the time zone Justin's in because he's in Oregon. That's California's time zone and all that because we got 4 time zones across the country. So you got Pacific time, Mountain time, Central time, Eastern time. I'm hearing good things about FOMO from Fragrance Buy, their little line. Forgot what it's called. Somebody in the chat's going to say it, but I'm hearing good things about it. I just haven't tried it. Amber from Roger probably will take me years to even go through that. And it's been sealed properly, so you don't have to worry about that spoiling as quickly. When they come from the brand, the labs they use with these official travel atomizers, this is Guerlain. This is L'Homme Ideal Le Parfum. Intense. These aren't going to spoil as quickly because they're secured pretty well. It's not like, the way these are decanted. This is actually poured in and done at a factory, whereas this is some guy. They do a good job, but reality, it's some guy with syringes taking the cap off the bottle, depressing the atomizer stem to where it presses in, and you draw the oil, the fragrance oil out of it, squirt it in here, Teflon tape, screw the cap on, throw your label and go. So it's not the same process. And then there's plastics going with this and stuff, so it changes the smell. So these don't last a really long time. It's best to use these sooner than later when you get decants like this. Whereas when you buy an official travel atomizer from a brand, because this is a 7.5 ml as well, and there's a 10 ml. But when you buy an official travel atomizer, especially from a luxury brand like that, they usually do everything on that upper echelon with their manufacturing process. So it should last you years. It should. You'll get a lot of wearings out of 7.5 ml because it's strong. It's got good sillage. Yeah, that is a phenomenal fragrance, Boz. I'm with you on that. Bringing Oud Wood Parfum. Scent of the Day, Intense Cafe. Excellent choice. Oud Wood Parfum would be great. I'm still waiting to see Ombre Leather Eau de Toilette. That rumor was from the beginning of the year. No, I haven't heard anything else since. Randy would have more info than me when it comes to that. Both they are the same. What should I get? Most Wanted or the last one? So that's tough, Boz. Because the Most Wanted Parfum is really good, but my favorite wanted fragrance is the Most Wanted, the black bottle. I just really love it. The balance is pretty good with that toffee and that spice. I believe it's cardamom. It's really good. It's nice and warm and ambery. It's a little juvenile sweet, but I love it. It's my favorite version of Wanted. I would say the Parfum version is my second favorite. They're both better than Wanted by Night to me. All right, let me scroll down a little bit, guys. I have that coming. I bought a bottle. But that's one that's a blind buy because I've never tried that. I've just been hearing everybody talk about how good and bad it is. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out. That haul will be here in 2 days. 2 days, I think. I don't want to share. Yeah, don't do it yet. I mean, I've heard a bunch of people saying it. I've heard orange lollipop at the dentist office. I've heard all kinds of stuff, man. I wouldn't sweat it. Dylan Blue, we got cold, so I can't smell it. Oh, damn. Sorry to hear that, man. Hope you feel better soon. I haven't tried it. I actually can't weigh in. I have not tried it. Doesn't seem to have crazy good performance on my skin unless I'm going. You very well could be going nose blind to it. It's above average. It's not a beast, but it's like an 8-hour fragrance on my skin. It could be anosmia because I mean, my nose is getting all jacked up right now from all the strong stuff I got on me. I faintly smell a light aroma that's a combination, and I have 6 sprays of pretty strong fragrance here, and then a spray of each of Intense Red Tobacco and Parfums de Marley Althair, which I can still easily smell when I get up close to. It's just that nothing's overwhelming me. I have 8 sprays of 3 different fragrances on me right now. Really, it's more than that, if I'm being honest here. So, like for those of you that saw the shorts video that I did on this, I actually did a second take, so I resprayed those 6 sprays. So I actually have double sprays in every spot. So I'm really wearing 12 sprays of this. So that's really dialing up some, olfactive fatigue, though I haven't gone nose blind, but it has weakened my sensitivity because before spraying these 2 decants in this live stream, 12 sprays of that on. That's reality because I ended up doing it. I watched it back when I was going to editing. I was like, let me do that again. The downside is I'm going to spray everything again. So, yeah, I got 12 sprays on. I typically wouldn't do that, It happened. Here we are. Screw it. Big fan of the hat video. I appreciate that, Josh. Thank you, man. Yeah, I saw your comment about this one specifically. It looks like a Nerf gun. I actually used that in my IG post on my other IG page. Well, yeah, you ever heard the term 5 o'clock shadow? Same thing on your face. It's going to be the same thing on your head. The hair never really stops growing unless the follicle dies. That's with bald spots and stuff. But if you have healthy follicles, yeah, it's always growing. It's always growing for sure. Ooh, that's a tough question. You coming with the heat, huh? The one best release? That's hard. I can give you a few. How about I give you my 3 favorites for designer and niche? Let me do that. So for designer, it's Spice Bomb Infrared EDP. Boston Scent Magnetic, and the third one's such a toss-up. But I think I have to go Lamal Elixir. God, it's so difficult to leave some of the other ones out. But those are my 3 designers. Because, man, like Issey Miyake, Lodisi, Vetiver, stuff like that. Anyway, niche, it's going to be my clear-cut favorite so far has been Wilhelm Parfumerie Faces of Francis. And there's so many good ones that I've gotten as far as niche. Like, I got to pick one of these Argos fragrances. They've all been phenomenal. I guess I'm going to go with what I've worn the most. So Birth of Venus from Argos, because I've made it a point to wear those. I keep going back to it. I've been wearing it a lot. So Birth of Venus from Argos is up there for me. And then it's kind of a toss-up for number 3 with fragrances like Coco Loco from Zaharoff. I think Sphinx Elixir came out this year at the very beginning, so that's hard to not go with that one too. And then my recent love, I wore it yesterday, is Carner Barcelona Revolution. It's kind of between those 3. I know that's really 5, but it's hard to pick one between those 3. But the first 2 are clear cut. So we'll do the 2 for niche. Is Faces of Francis from Wilhelm Parfumerie, and I'm drawing a blank. Argos Birth of Venus. So we'll go with those. It's hard to just pick one. You see how hard it was to just pick 3? It's hard to pick one, man. North Stag. Shipping Hermes H24. Personally, I didn't like it at first. Now it's really grown on me. It's just different, a little daring, which I like. Because it is. It is that. You have to commend them for that. They're kind of going the route that Gucci chooses to go. Gucci kind of gets outside the box with their scent profiles. That's what I respect about them too. Because H24 EDT, very metallic, bright and fresh, a little floral, and it smells like citrus peel, but there's supposedly no citrus, like a little like bergamot. And then when you get to the EDP, you add oak moss and darken it up and don't get away from the original. It's just phenomenal EDP flanker. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. Are they going to do something fresher? Are they going to go a Parfum or Elixir route? Because they're really good at flankering. The Terre de Hermes line, they were always pretty good at flankering. So I'm with all the love for H24, and I understand anybody that doesn't like H24. Gary's Den, that's the name of it. That's the Dior Homme Parfum clone from Fragrance Buy. Thank you, CrashNet. I haven't seen anything. So let me scroll down. I'm pretty far. I'm pretty far. All the Tigar clones go way too heavy on the musk or the citrus and never get it right. None of them can touch Tigar. I'm sorry. The only one I haven't tried that gets a lot of love is Black Panther from Alexandria. But all the other ones I've tried, they're all really good. They're all really good. Then you try Tigar. You're like, oh, God, these are shit. Because Tigar's that good. Tigar is that jam. The one I haven't tried that I think I'm holding out hope for is Spirit of King's version because it's a niche clone. What's it called? Starts with an A. Shit. Let me look it up. I've heard it's pretty damn spot on, and they use high quality Arrakis, however you say that. This one. This is the one I'm holding out on hope for. High ratings. See? And Broxton and everything. I've heard really, really good stuff from some of my friends about this, so I'm holding out hope. That's the one I haven't tried yet, that I'm hoping will kind of, curve the sweet tooth, I guess you could say, for Tigar without having to buy Tigar. I haven't tried Royal Tobacco yet compared to Red Tobacco. I've heard it's crazy strong. I haven't tried it. Just got Honey Oud. I'm in love with it. That's hell of a good fragrance. Where's Montrese? Montrese will tell you how good that is. I don't know if he's still here. Serves and Tins, great tobacco and cacao fragrance. Question. Well, you probably should have threw the question in there, Josh. Smells like Herod meets tobacco lore meets chocolate. Do you like it? Because I know you like Herod. Hair loss is the worst. It happens. It definitely happens. There you go. Honey Oud is so awesome. What fragrance you refuse to own a clone of? Ooh, that's a good question, Josh. I've never been asked that before. Of all the things I've been asked about fragrances, nobody's ever asked me that. Shit, I don't know. I mean, everything's kind of fair game. Because I get intrigued by certain ones. If it's something I really like, I want to see what's out there with, like, are they doing it justice? Because I get also all the time, like literally yesterday's shorts video that featured 3 niche fragrances. What are the clones for these? There's no clones for them. But if I ever come across some, I'm going to have to try them to see so I can talk about them if they're worth talking about. So that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to clones. It's not even necessarily just for me to wear, which I do wear, but I mean, I'm mainly, honestly, wearing it to test and review and see if it's worth getting over the original. And honestly, I'll probably wear the original more, even though the other ones in the line, like Super Crush and Cedrat Essence, they're both really good clones. but I have the originals. I just wear the originals. And that's probably what will happen to this one. It is so far so good. I'm enjoying it. They're doing Tonka Cola justice. But that's kind of where I'm at with clones is I want to see so I can talk to you guys about it. For any of you that are like, I don't want to buy the original, I need a really good clone, because that happens a lot. Happens a lot. At the end of the day, I'm here to review. So that's why I get a lot of the stuff I get, is to put my opinion out there, because there's some that trust my opinion on these things, such as yourself, sir. So I actually don't have nothing comes to mind. I know that's not the answer you were looking for. There's nothing spicy about that answer, but everything's kind of fair game. Okay. My hair was thin way before that. My hair was going thin in high school. Like it was like you remember back in the late 90s, early 2000s when dyeing your hair and highlights were a thing? When I dyed my hair, I got to see how thin my hair was when I wasn't a brunette anymore. And I was like, oh shit. When I was like 16, I was like, So when I turned 17, I started shaving my head. I have been shaving my head. I used to be bald with a goatee. Now I'm bald with a beard. Since 17. I'm 38. I'll be 39 in January. That's how long I've been shaving my head, since freaking high school. Yep, like late 16, before I turned 17, I was already shaving my head. So screw it. Accept my future now. So with Fall of Phaeton, it's immediately smoky, spicy, and creamy. As soon as you spray it, it grabbed me. Oh, shit. Like literally in the shorts, video, ooh, we're talking now. So the wow factor of the three that I have, of the 3 of the 5 new releases, it's the one. The dry down, I think Birth of Venus is better overall because it gets creamy in the dry down. Not Birth of Venus, Fall of Phaeton, but the first several hours of Fall of Phaeton. Damn, if you like smoky, spicy, and it's balanced by creamy woods, basically, or like a creamy musk, really. It's not even sandalwood or anything. It's like creamy musk. You'll like it, boss. You'll like it. If you like stuff like that, you'll be a fan. If you don't like stuff like that, just avoid it. Because I know it's not easy for you to get a hold. You can't just buy a carded sample because you're buying from out the country. It's out for a while. The dupe of Clive Christian's Hedonistic. Smells like cherry cough syrup on top of tobacco. That does not sound appealing, Divine. Very well could be, because it was very captivating. I just haven't been wearing it. Well, I mean, I just got it yesterday, but I mean, I'm going to wear it tomorrow. It's right here. It's literally right here. It's slated for tomorrow. It's captivating, and it's not as situational as Love Triumphs Over War. That's a very situational fragrance. That's not some everyday wear. Whereas I could wear this every day. And then Christian started doing, for those of you that didn't see the shorts video, Christian started doing the etching. He put my name on the base with the Argo stuff in the back, put his name right above it. That was a nice little touch. I had no idea he was doing that. So that was very nice of him. I just randomly got the package in. I was like, ooh, I bet that's Fall of Phaeton. Sure enough. Shout out to Christian. But it is, I think it's the best of the 3 between Birth of Venus, Love Triumphs Over War, and this one. Now, Triumph of Bacchus X-Straight could be the one. I'm hoping it's the one, because Triumph of Bacchus is my favorite Argos. So we'll see. Ooh, here's a good one. So some of the ones I bought in the haul that's coming in are disappointments for others. I got wanted EDP, YSL myself. Like some of these are like massive disappointments for some people. And I got to see for myself, because I'm slowly accumulating fragrances for a most disappointed list at the end of the year. When I do my annual best of lists, I want to do the worst of, basically. Most disappointing releases of 2023. And if I had to pick one so far, as far as the releases, let me look around a bit, because I've got so many 2023 releases. Let me think, because I got a lot of 2023 releases. Well, because nothing specific is coming to mind. So that's why I got to look around a little bit. Because about the closest for me, and it's not even really a disappointment, was Chrome Parfum. It just wasn't what I expected, but it grew on me fast. So it's not really a disappointment because I do really like it. It blindsided me with just how earthy green it was and slight metallic. Like it doesn't really tie into chrome that much, but the dry down's great on it. It does dry beautifully. And as I kept wearing it, it was like Dylan Blue. I didn't like Dylan Blue at first either. And I started to fall for it as I wore it more. So I have to critically look at everything, like get them all together on the desk, all the 2023 releases, and say, if I had to pick 3 that are disappointing compared to the rest, what's the 3? Like that's how I'm going to have to evaluate that. So unfortunately, I won't answer that question. I can't really answer that now in this moment, but by year's end, I will have a video for it, if that makes sense. Because none of them really disappointed me. The way to critically do that is to get them all together and be like, of these, which could be the disappointments, which left more to be desired. It's kind of how I'll have to look at it. Which do I wish were a little bit this, or wish they would have did that? That's what it's going to have to come down to for me. Because there really wasn't any bad releases. They just, some are better than others is just what it comes down to. Yeah. So I'm very far behind if he's saying that. So let me scroll down. Yeah, I'm way further behind than I thought I was. I was gray in my 20s. Damn. My childhood friend Keith, he was gray in like 31, 32. He was already full head of gray. Let me scroll down. God, I'm so far behind. In the opening, not like I do in Adonis Awakens. And then with Birth of Venus, it's almost like fresh Adonis Awakens in some ways. Because Danye is kind of in most of them now. If you see Raspberry and Mysore Sandalwood and Rose, whichever note breakdowns you see that in from Argos, it's kind of Danye at this point. Which Danye doesn't, I don't think has the Rose, but that particular Mysore Sandalwood and Cashmere wood that he uses, he's kind of been using across most of the releases. So you get Danye as kind of a base for some of the fragrances. But I can see where you're coming from with it because of the creaminess. Like it smells like the Mysore Sandalwood, but I don't recall that being in the notes. I don't think it was. Let me look real quick. What am I looking up? All of Phaeton. Yeah, it doesn't. It's got oud as the woody note, but it's very creamy. I don't know if it's the vanilla doing it or what, but it's creamy from the start. I was shocked at how creamy it was on my skin. Very creamy. Super smoky. Super smoky. It's phenomenal. Congrats on 90K. Wearing Invictus Legend. Send the Night CK1 Summer 2019. Well, I appreciate that, David. Thank you very much. So we'll go to about an hour and a half. We got like 6 minutes. 6 minutes and some change left. We'll do a pretty hard stop at hour and a half. We accomplished the goal here. We'll revisit real quick. It is dried down into a less sweet red tobacco. Like it's clear as day red tobacco. Intense, I think, was the wrong name for this fragrance. Woodsy. It's dried down in basically a dry wood. A little bit of leather and earthy. That's basically like the spices faded greatly. It's not at the forefront anymore. It's still great. I think it's a great fragrance. It's just I can't help but compare it to the original and look at it as it's named Intense. So that's kind of where it's at with me. Althair, I still get plenty of orange blossom. That's been on my hand for close to an hour at this point, about 45 minutes. I still get a lot of orange blossom. Orange blossom and vanilla. That's pretty much what it is. A little powdery. But mostly vanilla at this point. Vanilla and orange blossom combo. So anybody that gets mostly vanilla and orange blossom, we're here. Daz, good to see you. John Barbados OG. Still think I have to get a sample of Fall of Phaeton first. Yeah, I mean, always, especially with these expensive ones, definitely sample first. I hope not either. It still hasn't budged. I got my tracking a couple days ago when you did. It hasn't moved. There you go. My wife noticed that you added the extra shelf on your left against the wall. Yeah. Do you have space to add more? Yeah, I can do another one just like this. This is a taller shelf. It's not the same as those. That's 1, 2, 3. That whole section from Drew Brees over. See Drew Brees? That whole section over, not counting this shelf. That's all one big shelf. It's 5-tier, 4-tier, 5-tier, and each shelf holds 100 pounds. It's industrial strength. But this is the same brand, same color scheme. It's taller and narrow. I wanted to put other things on there. And in the event that I need to expand it for fragrances one day, I can, because I still have room on these shelves. But I got 2 of those. That's what the other wall is, another one. And then over here next to this closet, I have room to put another shelf like that I'm going to buy over there. So that shelf's $100. Those are $200. I get asked about my shelves all the time. All the time. And I'll send a link. I'll send an Amazon link. And when they see the $200, they're like, oh, okay. Because they're like, oh, I could buy fragrances instead. I guess they're hoping they're cheap, which I guess technically $200 isn't all that expensive. At least I didn't think it was, especially for what they do. They're phenomenal shelves. So glad I bought them. But I can tell you, based on the Amazon affiliate links, they'll ask, I'll send them a link, and nobody buys them. I think they're getting scared off by it being $200 a piece, because that's $500 right here for these shelves, which I don't think is bad for what it is. I think that's pretty damn cheap, actually. Great shelves. I strongly recommend. They got different color wood to them as well. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, boss, because I really like that one. Not as far behind as you normally are. You've been crushing it today. Well, thank you, Randy. I've been doing my share of skipping and trying to skip around, though. That's the thing. I have to skip around a bit. Ganymede X Straight was very disappointing to Sean. I haven't tried it. I hear your opinions from all of you before I buy Hawass Ice. Well, because nobody wants to pay what the price is for it right now, because you're anywhere from like $65, $70 to $90. Everybody's like, oh, not for a Rasasi fragrance. That's crazy. It's a brand new release with hype. What'd you expect? It's still way under what designer releases come at for retail. It's what it is. They weren't going to release it at $35. those that freaked out about the price, you got to wonder. So I get why people would want to wait for it to get cheaper. Sure, over time it'll get cheaper, but that's going to take a while, because if the hype's justified on this fragrance, it's going to constantly sell out, and it's going to be hard to have stock. So it's going to be a while before anybody can get it if they're not like on the money the second it restocks anywhere. That's going to be the reality for a while with Hawass Ice. Hell, Hawass, years. It came out in 2015. It's 8 years later. It still sells out quick all over the place, especially during the summer. So you guys got to keep that in mind. It's those that don't want to wait. That's who's doing these pre-orders. Me and Joel being each 2 of them, you know. Getting a bottle of Dia 40 sent over after it drops. We'll see how that goes. Good to see you, Kellen. Wearing Bad Boy Le Parfum. See you tomorrow. I'm going to wear Oak and Oak. Realize it doesn't release till November, and then only in Oman, Dubai in December. PJ family able to check out Absolute Aventus on Wednesday from a Neiman's rep. Definitely looking forward to it, good or bad. Definitely come back and let us know what you think. Nobody has to hold back telling me their opinion on that one. Let's talk about that one, because I don't know if I'll be able to get my nose on it or not. Fatboyfragrance.com and Decant House. That's kind of the 2 places I go to. I strongly recommend Juan for his customer service, phenomenal customer service, and then Decant House. I've gotten a lot of decants from him. I don't know. Anybody that's going would have to weigh in. I don't know. Divine says end of October. I think the shelf prices are good. You can spend a lot of money for much more cheaply made. That's how I looked at it too. That's exactly how I looked at it. Because like people freak out because they're like stuff that's close to the edge. It's like, man, you could bump those shelves. Shit ain't moving. I bump into the fragrances all the time. I try to be pretty mindful. Those shelves don't budge, man. And there's nothing bracketing them to the wall. They're just heavy duty. They're literally industrial shelving. They take a beating. And they can hold a lot of weight, which they needed to, because there's tons of fragrances on them. I don't think it'll be. It's going to smell nice. You have it? Seriously? Do you like joking or you like really have it already? Because I'm surprised if you do. Ooh, that comes down to Adonis Awakens and Signature Rosé. 2 rose fragrances, masculine roses. I love them. That's my 2 favorites easily. Fresh linen or dryer sheets, affordable preferably. Musk Invisible from Juliet Has a Gun. You can get for like $60 from discounters. It smells like a freshly laundered cotton blanket. Super cozy. It's not going to blow anybody's nose away with performance, but super cozy. That's the one that comes to mind. You can get for like $60 online. And it smells like a throw blanket that's fresh out the dryer. Yep. No, Randy. We're not doing that tomorrow. I don't want to know nothing. I saw Joy's video because I couldn't help myself, but no, I don't want the review happening in front of me. I want to wait to really smell it for the first time because me and Randy have very similar taste when it comes to stuff like that. So I don't want to know. I can't watch Randy's video until after I smell it first. So Randy, keep it on your channel for now. After the fact, maybe next time you're on. So what'd you think about it? I thought you'd like what a was or think the same or whatever it ends up being. But yeah, not tomorrow. Do that on your channel for now. Because I'll definitely be influenced by Randy's opinion. It's very similar to mine when it comes to stuff like that. Yes, thank you, Randy. He gets it. So all these suckers who bought Hawas Ice from Joma Shop have fun being charged multiple times till it gets here if it doesn't get canceled. That's a possibility with Joma Shop. I was surprised they priced it the way they did, but I kept getting asked about it, so I put the link out there. It was between them and Frag Bar. I'm waiting forever on Frag Bar. It is what it is. So we'll see. It's coming today. Let me see. I'll check my tracking then. Damn it, you got me curious. I haven't checked my tracking today. I guess we're doing over an hour and a half. Well, take your time, post office. Service is currently unavailable because, I don't trust the shop app, the shop pay app. I can track your orders. It shows it's still in New York on there. I was trying to go to the post office website and it says our service is currently unavailable. Some people would say so. I don't bother doing it though. My skin's kind of oily. Sample, send it your way. Creed Absolute. Well, damn. Definitely keep me in mind. I'll buy. If you get a sample, I'll buy it from you. If you want to part with it, I'll buy it from you. Don't just send it to me. Let me buy it from you because that's something that's going to be harder to come by, I would think. Zaharoff Signature Rosé. It's a slightly sweet on me. It's sweeter on Justin and on my wife than it is on me. But it's a smoky incense rose. I love them. That's my 2 favorites. Zaharoff Signature Rosé and Argos Adonis Awakens. Guys, bombard them because there's a lot that could go there. Hit them with your opinions, guys, because there's a lot of options for this question. There's a lot, Kellen. Because I can just tell you what I like to wear to dinner that my wife feels is just phenomenal is La Nuit de l'Homme Le Parfum, La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Parfum, The Most Wanted from Zaro, for example. Anything Strong With You, any of them, literally any of them. And that's plenty right there. Definitely the Strong With You line. Tracking is down. Yeah, it's down for me too. I was surprised. Joma Shop is shipped. Tracking number also says arriving late. Still on Wednesday for me. Creed is a house that just hasn't grown on me, and their prices are absurd. Same with Tom Ford. The Sony Wave. Rosé smells like, just imagine being pelted about the head with bags of various roses. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. While somebody's burning incense. That makes sense. YSL line. Yeah, for me, the specific La Nuit de l'Homme flankers, for me, it's Le Parfum and an Eau de Parfum. With you being a young man, I would stick to the original, though. Regular La Nuit de l'Homme. I would go with the original. That powdery spiced cardamom. It still does the trick, man. It's still great stuff. Been looking at it. It's been down since this morning, so it may come tomorrow. But honestly, I don't care. I wasn't playing on a video till Thursday. Well, there you go. Well, you sparked some controversy and excitement in the chat, so there you go. So I'm not familiar with the Le Parfum. I haven't tried it. Is the Le Parfum the one that has the cannabis in it? I don't know, because I haven't tried that one. I don't think I've tried that one. Because I've tried one. Randy had sent it to me. I don't remember which one it is. So, yeah, that's the one with marijuana. Yeah, it's got the hemp note. Okay, yeah, I haven't tried that one. There's grapefruit in it. That's grapefruit. Grapefruit, hemp, black pepper, geranium, leather, vetiver. So there you go. For my wife's birthday. Sunday in the garage with Mike. What a nice name. I'll be traveling to Paris in November for my wife's birthday. So there's a second part to this comment. Curious if there are any European exclusive fragrances I should get. I don't know. That you should buy them. I don't know. Nothing that comes to mind for me that I was like, ooh, while you're there. Outside of Dior Homme Parfum. I mean, that's pretty much just over there. If you haven't tried that that's a definite. Essential Obsessions, Kevin does really good work. I would strongly suggest King Andy. His new, fresher version of Andy Warhol from Bond Number 9 is still the bomb. That's still always my number one recommendation over there. I actually went and repurchased YSL myself. Can't believe I spent that much for the 15-minute opening. You rebought it after you returned it? I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Because, look, you could have got it on Fragrance Buy for cheaper. I think I paid $70 for the 60 ml, something like that, 60-something, $70. Something like that. It's in my order that's coming. Yeah, you could have got it. Because I know you're not going to wear all 60 ml. 60 ml probably would have been fine for you. You could have saved yourself some money. But I know you like your Macy's trips. You always got the scoop on the Macy's sales. It's a beautiful aromatic green, true to the original, full of vanilla, powdery vanilla tonka bean. That's what it comes down. A little woodsy and spiced. The tobacco note doesn't really shine on me. Adds a little bit of darkness to it, to the vanilla, but that's about it. It doesn't like dominantly smell like tobacco on my skin. But it's super powerful. It's a delicious fragrance. It smells great. It's one of the best designer releases of the year for me. Boz is not a fan, though. That was a disappointing release for Boz. This Boz. The Boz. Sunday. Dior Homme Parfum. Yeah. See, everybody's going to say the Bond Number 9 clone for sure. Yeah, it's good stuff. So that came from Fragropedia House. The link's in the description for that video. You can get a decant. You can get a sample of it. They sell samples. And they ship here in the States, so it's not going to come directly from overseas. It's a French store, but they have distribution. It comes out of Florida. It's like when I get a package from them, I get it quick. So, yeah, you can do that. You can just get a sample. It's $5, $10, something like that. It's very unique. Very, very unique. And also, thank you for watching the entire video, because that was the last fragrance I talked about in today's video. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, today's fall list, the niche fragrances, a lot of unique stuff. I threw a few mass appealing ones because it comes down to stuff I want to wear that I'm going to wear. Things, when it comes to my seasonal list, it's stuff I'm excited to wear about. I'm excited to wear these. That's the ones I talk to you guys about, because it's like, it's not necessarily I think you should try it. Like, I'm wanting to wear these. If you try it, here's what I think about it. You know, here's why I want to wear it. So that's basically what it was. And there's a lot of newer stuff to my collection as far as niche that was in today's video. I'm just super excited to check them out. And like 4 of the fragrances came from Fragropedia House. They got some really good brands, some underutilized, underappreciated niche houses that are just doing great work. If you want unique stuff, there's a lot of good out there, man. There's a lot of good stuff. Oh, I got far behind quick. Well, that's YSL for you, though. My wife, her favorite house is YSL, men's and women's. So he strikes again. I say it. He gives a new sale date. You want to know when the next Macy's sale is? You hit Rick up. He always freaking knows. It never fails. I say it, and he's like, "Oh, in fact, next one's on the 23rd." Can't stand long flights. Me either, boss. I think in 2 days. I think. So today's what, Tuesday? Yeah, Monday. So the video would be Wednesday. So it would come out. The video would come out Thursday if it comes in Wednesday. Let's look. Just shows label created. So it hasn't been scanned, but it shipped like 3 days ago. Gotta love FedEx. So I don't know. Should be in like 2 days. Should I get second soul? I'm on the fence of blind buying. I mean, you can buy a sample for $5 and just try it. Get Evening Mystique sample while you're at it. But yeah, you can get a sample for $5. You don't have to just blind buy it. Got to keep that in mind. There are samples for sale, just $5. I've been hearing good things. A lot of people have been asking me. I think it's an Ani clone. Great clone of Nishane Ani. There you go. Kind of trash. Now, that could be on you, though. Everybody's mileage is different, as Justin likes to say. It's very true. Comes down to skin chemistry and olfactive perception, as I like to say it. How quickly your nose will lose sensitivity to something varies with every fragrance for everyone. So you got to keep that in mind, too. Oh, Angel, Kubano, easily. Definitely my guy, Kuba. He's hilarious. That's who he is. Granted, he's dialing it up a little bit more than he is off camera, but I mean, that's who he is. That is him. He's cranking it up just like if he's an 7 or 8 in person with that, how live he is, he cranks it up to a 10. Like, let's say he's an 8 off camera. He's a 10, cranks it up to 10. Like he's already up there and he cranks it up to 10 off camera. I mean, on camera, because that's just who he is. Angel's entertaining. Centertainer, as he likes to say it. He is that. Shout out to Kubano. That's my guy. I don't have a favorite. I've only tried the extreme. That's fair. Althair has become vanilla. Woody vanilla. It is super generic now. Yeah, I'm a pass on that. I'm not getting a bottle. So Delmonico, thanks for the live. I'll see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow, Randy. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down here in a second anyway. It's good, but it's too redundant in the opening for stuff I have. And then it's a generic vanilla as a dry down. It's nice. And look, the thought of me wanting to get it can and will change as I spray this decant more. By the end of the decant, I'll know for certain if I'm going to get a bottle. Where I'm at right now, no. For this one first spray, no. 6, 7 sprays in, one at a time, different days, that opinion very well could change. It's a probability, actually. All right. E, what's going on, big dog? How are you? 1 Million Royal is better to me than Le Mans Elixir. Never would have expected that. Because it's not as sweet. It's not as sweet. Yeah, his Review the Reviewer episode is pretty damn funny, for sure. I actually bought that Parfums Vintage Tobacco fragrance that tried to start the drama Zaharoff. Is very good. Those two fragrances go in completely different directions. I'm not surprised. I'm sure it is a good fragrance. It was comical, that whole situation. It was comical. Althair didn't impress me either, just okay. Tobacco by Zaharoff is so nice. I agree. I wore it last night, night before. No, last time I shaved. It was like 3 or 4 days ago. They should end that Lamal line. It's bold. 1 Million Golden Oud on fragrance buy this Friday. So it sounds like I'll be buying it this Friday because I definitely want it. They've been on a roll with those 1 million flankers, in my opinion. Parfum's great. Elixir's great. I think Royal's pretty damn good. Dare I say great. So I definitely want Golden Oud. And I love Lucky. I love Privé. I actually like the Cologne flanker. I'm one of the few in the proud. I still have respect for the original. Like it goes on and on. I like the 1 million line, so I'm probably gonna hopefully secure a bottle on Friday. Thank you for the heads up. In fact, let me go look. Nope, that's not what I meant to click at all. Just type in 1 million oud, see if the listing comes up. So it does show the listing. It's going to be strict limit, 1 per. It doesn't show a restock date for me on my end. It shows the notify me, but I am going to notify me because I will forget more than likely. So please email me when available. Thank you very much. I actually haven't. Ripped Up. Funny name. I like that. Thin Wild Mercury. Indie brand. Been blown up on TikTok. I have not. It was just disappointing the tacky way they tried to market it. The fragrance stands on its own and didn't need the drama. I think so too. Like, why try to tear down something? And look, he can say whatever he wants because he messaged me privately trying to refute what me and George said in our live stream. And look, you can run it through your little machine all you want. You're calling Claude Deer and Mon, a world-renowned perfume house, liars, not just George, saying there's no tobacco oil and all that stuff. So it's Accords creating it. No, that was verified because, of course, George was like, what? And he reached out to everybody and they're like, disregard that. That's not true. So that's why we went live to talk about it, because he verified just to make sure, like, what's he talking about here? So, yeah. Yeah, none of that had to happen. He could have just released the tobacco fragrance and had to be successful. Did he say what he's wearing today? I don't think he did. Don't do a first impression. It changes so much in the opening after the first few sprays. What fragrance are you talking about? Because if you're talking about Hawas Ice, oh, you're talking about Golden Oud. No, I'm going to do a full review. Well, I mean, if it's part of a haul, it'll get a first impression. But like Hawas Ice, I'm just going to go to start testing it and start wearing it. Same thing with Golden Oud. If I get it by itself, I'll just start testing it right away. Whereas if it's part of a haul, it's going to get a first impression. So I'm going to do an unboxing first impression video. So what's going on? I was feeling like a coffee and went with Queer Cafe from Happy Land. Excellent. House Discovery set from Parfums Vintage called Intense. They got a plethora of them for sure. See how great they are, but I can't justify the price for a clone. Won't be disappointed wearing it. So on that, I'm going to stop right here at Boz, I believe. Well, one more. Vice Dog, I'll get to you, and then we'll shut it down. But it's a natural thing from there. I don't even know, Boz. It was a whole thing for a while. But I'll leave it right here, and we'll go ahead and shut it down. Started my journey 4 years ago watching your vids. Well, hell, you've been with me almost the whole time. The channel's a little older than 4 years. I appreciate them. I mean, Vice Dog 88. So, man, thank you, everybody, for being here, hanging out with me for a while. Went a little longer than I anticipated. Intense red tobacco is not all that intense, but it is more animalic dry. It's nice. I'll get a bottle of that eventually. I'll get intense red tobacco. I will, but I'm going to wait till it gets to around $100. I might even pay $120 for it. Depends on what it hits discounters for, but I'll get intense red tobacco. It's just not intense when you compare it to red tobacco. Althair, where I'm at right now, it is really nice. I can understand why people like it. It's super crowd pleaser, for sure. It's Parfums Marley's MO. They make crowd pleasing scents 99% of the time. But where I'm at right now on this first spray, I'm not getting a bottle. I'll let you guys know if that changes, because it very well could. Like I said, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sprays in. You never know how I'm feeling when the decant runs out. Might go a while and wait, and then all of a sudden it's like, man, I'd like to get a bottle. You never know. So make sure to like this video before you leave. Check out today's fall niche list. We got some interesting picks on there. A lot of good stuff. 32-minute video, though. 15 fragrances. You know me, I do about 2 minutes per. So it shakes out to a 30-minute video, even when edited. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Tomorrow, me, Dedrick, and Randy, I've got 8 decants between the two of them. They each sent me 4. We got some Valentino stuff that I've never tried. Ingenious Ginger from Randy. Strong With You Oud, the only one I've never tried. Noir Ombre Isimiaki. Got some cool stuff to check out. So definitely come check us out tomorrow. It'll be a little bit later than usual because I got to, their schedules matter. So it's one of those deals where it's 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. We will be live here on this channel for more than an hour, I'm sure. Make sure to check out Dedrick Hicks Jr. and Fragrance Dude here on YouTube, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.